Now, when this photograph of 2-year-old Grayson Merrygold was uploaded on Instagram, the toddler became the target of vile racist abuse. A troll hiding behind a fake name called the toddler a word that we're not going to repeat here. Outraged, his dad, the JLS star Aston Merrygold, made it his mission to track down the troll and get his or her account shut down. Sadly, this is the tip of the iceberg. And here to tell us why more has to be done, it's Aston Merrygold. Hi there, Aston.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, we're well, thanks. I mean, how did this come to light, Aston?
I mean, to be honest, literally, like any other day, we just enjoy posting about family life, especially during, obviously, the pandemic. Do you know what I mean? We've been obviously stuck in the house and been trying to make the best of the bad situation and just spend as much time together as possible, posting pictures, having fun, And then, yeah, I literally sitting down one evening, went to my son's account that myself and my missus monitor, and yeah, this comment was just literally there, point blank in my face, and I was just.
So does he have his own? So you've got a separate account for your little boy?
Yeah. So, but we got their names, we like emails and all that kind of stuff. We don't know how important, obviously, that's going to be in the future for them and stuff like that. So we grabbed all of them. But for now, like the Instagram and stuff like that, we got just, I suppose, to upload their progress and growing up for friends and family and all my supporters to kind of see. Do you know what I mean? But obviously myself and my partner, Sarah, we totally run it. Do you know what I mean? So it's not really him, but it's.
I mean, it's an absolute disgrace, and no one should ever be allowed to say the things that I read that were said about your son. I just think it's vile and awful. Do you think that having a separate account perhaps makes it easier for these people to be more abusive rather than having it all under the one family account so they can't directly speak about your son? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, 100%. But at the same time, it's a bit like growing up as a black man, I've never hidden and been ashamed of that. So it's a bit like I'm going to teach my sons the exact same thing. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like from when they grow up, now they're going to know about this story. And obviously, listen, they're always going to be able to hold their own. But for me now, and in this situation, it's like an account that we use to celebrate our son. Do you know what I mean? It's basically just been abused. And obviously, even point blank, it says on the account, like, I run the account, so does my missus. Do you know what I mean? So that's definitely aimed, no matter who this person is, whatever they were trying to get at, that's for them to kind of get my attention. I was like, you've got my attention now. This is you fully have it. You can't go around and think you can get away with stuff like that.
There's so many things in here, aren't there? And I mean, Aston, to be honest, there may be people who say, I don't think it's that wise for you to have an account for your son, and I'm sure you've heard that before.
Of course, yeah.
But what we should focus on is this unacceptable behaviour of people who feel that they have some kind of licence to make racial slurs in a public platform. Whatever else we think about the wisdom of having a social media account.
But what do you do? Because I don't think it's very easy to find these people and to have them held accountable. And I don't know if you've found it the same, Aston. They make private, made-up accounts, put in false addresses, false information. So actually, they're untraceable half of the time. So what on earth can we do?
Kelly, what do you think?
I think it's mad.
Kelly?
No, I was just going to say, Aston, with it happening now, and like you said, you're in control of that social media account. Has it changed how you want to approach that in the future? Are you going to do anything differently now?
To be honest, no, not at all. I think for me, like, I've always been taught by my parents, by my relatives, friends, like, just you have to tackle this thing head on. Like, no one has the right to be able to any kind of hatred towards you, let alone it be racial hatred. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for me, it's like point blank. I'm not hiding from it. These people want your attention. I'm like, okay, as I said, you now have my attention, and we're going to tackle this, and we're going to tackle it to the fullest. Do you know what I mean? So it hasn't. For me, like, even contacting the police, contacting Instagram, letting them know. A lot of people even said to me, "Oh, you should just, stay positive, ignore it." The more we ignore it, the more these people get away with it. If you don't tackle it head on and get people trying to find these people, it's a bit like we can then start to crack down. The police can then obviously have, I suppose, certain, investigations that can go on further within social platforms and stuff like that, because obviously there's stuff when we sign up to these platforms, you do sign all the, I suppose, the privacy content and whatever else. But if more people report it,
it will make a difference. Sorry to cut in. Can I ask you a question? You know, obviously you said your son and, you know, being a black man. How does it make you feel, you know, seeing your son receive racial abuse, knowing that you as a black man yourself, you identify yourself as a black man, is probably, you know, comes across that every day or has come across that growing up, and now having a child in the 20th century feeling like, you know, you're able to provide some more protection, but seeing the same racial abuse now happening to the next generation. How does it affect you? How does it affect you emotionally?
Honestly, I've had thick skin since I was very young, experiencing racism. But as a parent, I would never prepared to see that. Like, the rage boiled, took over. My thing was, I was a bit like, right, I need to get in my car, I need to find this person. That was just my first
Because it's your
thought.
innocent child. It's your innocent child. Has no aware of division between race and skin colour, and then being abused.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Abuse is one thing, but then that being thrown into the mix at the same time, I was just, I was overcome with rage. And speaking to my partner, she was, you know, she had to calm me down. And it was a bit like, okay, we need to try and tackle this the right way. We need to do it publicly. We need to make sure these people can't get away with such vile things.
What can we do then, Aston? Like, what have you, from this process, what can we do, even as a collective, people that are actively on social media? Is there things that, you know, we could be looking out for and reporting and trying to, you know, hold these people accountable?
Yeah, like, as I said, speaking to the police and you know, social platforms itself, it's that you need to keep reporting it. Just kind of blocking people and deleting messages. No, like, you need to keep reporting it. Talk about it. Keep it vocal. I mean, everybody needs to be aware that this stuff does go on all the time, all day, every day. So the more it's reported, the more power that authorities will have to come in and stamp down on it. Do you know what I mean? And it will stop people being able to make all these fake accounts, and they'll find IP addresses. And then as soon as they find IP addresses, that's when you find people.
Yes.
Aston, listen, thank you so much for speaking to us today. And I'm so glad you asked that question, Judy, because that's what we need to know. How does that feel to see that written about your son? We have to hear that and hear that and hear that. But I'm so sad that we have to be speaking to you about that, because there's so many wonderful celebratory things we could also be speaking to you about, Aston. And hopefully next time we speak, it will be about that.
Definitely,
So
it will.
thank you so much. We did contact Facebook, which of course owns Instagram, and they say racism is not tolerated on Instagram. We use a mix of technology and human review to help us keep hate off our platform. This is a priority, and we know we have more to do. We are committed to doing the work to help keep the people on Instagram safe. Well, clearly that is still not a complete system, given what we've heard from Aston.